We thought the cabin would save us. We were wrong. It was my idea, of course, to rent a secluded cabin in Shadow Ridge for a long weekend. Just the three of us. Me, my brother Alex, and our friend Dana. Life had been suffocating in the city. Deadlines, crowds, the endless hum of cars. I wanted escape. Peace. Some air that wasn't recycled. The cabin seemed perfect online. Rustic, remote, framed by towering pines, perched on the edge of a lake. The pictures promised solitude, serenity, a place to breathe. We arrived in late afternoon. The road leading to the cabin was narrow, flanked by dark woods, the kind where sunlight only penetrates in shards. By the time we reached the clearing, the sun had dipped low. The cabin loomed among the trees, aged wood darkened by weather, moss climbing the corners. Smoke curled faintly from the chimney, though the place had been empty for months. It felt alive. The first night was uneventful. We cooked over the small kitchen stove, drank beer, and joked about ghosts. The lake glimmered faintly through the trees, reflecting the moon. Shadows shifted, but we blamed it on firelight. The cabin creaked. Of course, old wood does that. I remember lying awake first, staring at the ceiling, listening. Something moved upstairs, or maybe in the walls. Slow, deliberate. Not random. Not natural. Alex snored beside me. Dana slept on the other side. I told myself it was nothing, but I couldn't sleep. The second day, we explored the area. Trails wound into dense forest, moss underfoot, the smell of wet pine thick in the air. Dana was the first to notice something strange. "Did you hear that?" she asked, pausing mid-step. "Hear what?" I said. "That whispering. Like someone walking behind us, but no one's there." I laughed nervously. Alex shrugged, shaking it off. The sound stopped almost as soon as we tried to focus on it. The woods returned to silence. That night, things changed. The wind picked up. It had been calm all day, but now it moaned through the pines, brushing against the cabin like a hand on skin. I was alone in the living room, reading, when I heard it, a soft knock, somewhere upstairs. "Alex," I called. No answer. The knocking came again. Slow, deliberate. 1, 2, 3, pause, 4, 5. The pattern was too precise. Almost intelligent. I grabbed a flashlight and climbed the stairs. The upper floor was empty. No doors opened. No closets disturbed. Nothing. And yet, when I turned to leave, the floorboards behind me creaked sharply, as if someone, or something, had followed. Dana saw it first. She screamed when she woke the next morning, pointing toward the corner of the living room. I froze. There was nothing there. "Something was there," she whispered. I saw it in the corner. Shadows, moving, and it was looking at me. Alex rolled his eyes. "You're tired. The cabin's creepy." "Yeah, but it's just your imagination." It wasn't imagination. By the third day, the cabin had begun shaping itself around us. Doors we'd closed opened by themselves. Furniture shifted slightly overnight. The kitchen table, once near the wall, was closer to the center of the room in the morning. Windows seemed smaller. Hallways slightly longer. The rooms felt wrong. At first, I thought I was imagining it. But Dana noticed too. She kept her journal, writing about small changes. Cracks in the floor that hadn't been there. A painting on the wall slightly tilted despite being straight the night before. The faint sound of breathing in the attic. That night, Alex disappeared. We were sitting by the fire, joking, drinking. I went to the kitchen for water. Dana followed. The cabin was quiet, but that quiet was wrong. When I returned, Alex was gone. I called for him. "Alex." No answer. We searched every room. Closet doors, under the beds, the attic. Nothing. Then we heard him. Not a voice. Not words. Just laughter. High-pitched. Echoing from somewhere deep in the cabin. A place that shouldn't exist. We found a hidden door behind the wardrobe in the master bedroom. It was narrow, dark. The wood was rotten, splintering at the edges. A musty smell, like old earth, rose from the gap. The laughter came again, distorted. Dana shook. We shouldn't. I didn't care. I opened it. The stairs descended into a basement I didn't know existed. Not on the plans. Not in the rental description. Just below the house. The basement was enormous. Bigger than the cabin itself. The walls were lined with old wooden shelves. Dust coated everything. Broken furniture leaned against the walls. And the air smelled wrong. Wet, earthy, alive. Alex sat in the center. Eyes wide, unblinking. He wasn't moving at first. Then he spoke. You shouldn't be here, he said. His voice wasn't his own. Deep, echoing, layered with hundreds of faint whispers. Dana screamed. I grabbed her, dragging her back upstairs. The stairs seemed to stretch, longer than before. I lost my footing. The basement door slammed. The cabin wanted us. I understood then. Not our bodies, our fear, our attention, our despair. The house thrived on it. It wasn't haunted by ghosts. It was alive. The shadows moved with intent. The corners seemed to breathe. Rooms shifted if we lingered too long. Whispers echoed, forming words we couldn't comprehend but understood instinctively. Stay, stay, stay. We tried to leave. The front door refused to open. Windows wouldn't budge. Paths in the surrounding forest looped back to the cabin, no matter which way we ran. That night, I stayed awake, watching the fire die down. Dana slept fitfully, muttering about eyes in the walls. Alex didn't sleep at all. He just stood in the corner, silent. By the fourth night, reality began to break. Shadows grew thicker. Objects shifted violently while we weren't looking. The ceiling seemed lower. The walls closed in. And the cabin whispered. We realized the truth. The cabin fed on us. Not physically, but mentally. Emotional energy, attention, fear, despair. And the longer we stayed, the stronger it became. We fought. Screaming, pounding, lighting fires, smashing furniture. Nothing worked. The walls would repair themselves. The floorboards straightened. Shadows returned to the corners. The final night, we planned to escape together. We ran into the forest at midnight, sticking close, trying to ignore the whispers. The cabin was behind us, faint in the moonlight, but when we looked back, it had grown. Taller, wider, roof lines stretching into the trees. Windows glowing faintly with firelight, though nothing burned inside. We ran. Branches scratched us. Roots snagged us. We fell. But every time we looked back, the cabin loomed larger, waiting, patient. By dawn, Dana and Alex were gone. I don't know how. One second they were with me. The next, vanished. I woke later, in the cabin's living room. Alone. The fire was burning low. Shadows shifted in the corners. The house hummed softly. Waiting. I understood. We never leave. Not really. The cabin decides when we can go. It shapes reality. It feeds. And now so do I. Because survival requires it. Attention. Fear. Compliance. The cabin wants life in every form it can touch. And once it chooses you, it never forgets.